Alright, this is me testing to see if people can hear me and see me. I'll do an actual proper intro as soon as I make sure everything's working on YouTube. Waiting on the delay. This is a very long delay. I did not realize that. Nope, there we go. Should be working now. I can see myself. I'm going to sit here and smile till I know for sure. Hello, if anyone can hear me, feel free to message in the chat so I know we're good. Awesome. Well then, start it up from the top and do it all professional like. Sorry, I live in the Midwest and everything hurts. Hello, my name is Jake. I'm one of the designers of Parlor and at Parlor. Yes, one of the designers at Parlor, and I'm here to make Retroscape characters so I can showcase the character creation process. And if it goes very fast, very well, we'll do a character creation with the chat as well. This should only take about an hour for both characters. Might be faster than that, so we'll see. But thank you all for those who showed up. Welcome. I hope you enjoy. This is kind of a test as well for streaming for us, since we want to do more, but welcome to the prototype. Actually, I am going to, because I will annoy myself if I cannot tell what I sound like. Let me throw on my headphones real quick. Nope, never mind. Can't find my headphones. So, they are too tangled up. So, we're just going to get straight into this. If you have questions, the awesome K&W Root Beer is there. That is Kristen. She is one of our amazing workers at Parlor. She also is our social media coordinator. So thank you so much, Kristen, for being here to help with the chat while I make a character. Who is the current winner? Because I did not pull up Discord. For those who may be joining the stream without knowing we have a Discord, go join it. You can vote real quickly. And pick, I think, between Neuro Grind and Timekeeper. But let's start this off a little bit cleaner and nicer. Welcome, my name is Jake. I am a developer and designer at ParlorGaming.com. We make tabletop RPGs like Tefra the Steampunk role-playing game, and currently are playtesting Retroscape. Retroscape is the one we're currently playing with today. It is a deco punk sci-fi game in which, in the distant future, the War of Eden, also known as World War III, takes place, almost wipes out all of humanity, and now humanity is in this rebuilding process, kind of like the 1920s vibe from actual history. Well, since it's a tie, and there's a link to our Discord as well that you can see, while I'll see if anyone wants to vote right now, and I'll have Kristen tell me who actually wins, and I'll talk a little bit more about Retroscape, and also let people come in, since this is the character creation side. You all get to enjoy watching the test of Jake learning how to stream at the same time as building a character. Should be pretty fast, so we can make multiple characters, maybe. Let's see. All right, so we have... I'll give you a quick walkthrough of what we do have. If you can see right here on the right side of your screen, we have a character sheet. I will brag real quick. I painstakingly went through and created a fillable character sheet for us. That way people can do things like this and save them on their Adobe and digital, because I know everyone loves digital now. I go back and forth very much on if I like digital more than physical copies, but we have both. Speaking of which, on the left side of the screen above this face that you can see right there, we have our book cover for Retroscape. And let me be smarter and move some things around real quick so I can see chat while doing this. Perfect. Now I can see chat very easily. Well, almost easily. There we go. Had to decide if it wanted to work or not. But as you can see, we have Retroscape right here. We have our lovely cover art, which was done by Louise Prado. I hope I'm saying your name right, Louise. I always feel like I'm going to get it wrong. This is our demo book, which is available right now at retroscaperpg.com. You can also check out all of the free stuff. We have an open playtest. Everything is free right now for playtesters. If you want to go check anything that's in this book right now, just go to retroscaperpg.com, click on the little play tab on the right, and you can go check out our Google Docs. The only difference is it's not as pretty and nice looking as the book in PDF. If you want to buy the book, it's $20, I believe, online for retroscaperpg.com or at parlorgaming.com. The PDF, I believe, is, I'm going to say 8. I'm pretty sure it's 7, but I believe it's on there as well. If you buy the physical copy, you get the PDF as well for free. So there you go. Last little spiel I'll give before I find out who won. So Kristen, get ready to tell me who won the votes. And if it's a tie, then I guess that will do one, and the other one will be the chat creation. We have a Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/retroscape if you want to support us, if you like what we're doing here. We're planning to do more streaming like this. We want to do more playtests. We want to do more character creation stuff. We want to showcase more and build the community that we love so much. Tefra started a great community, and we're trying to grow it even more with Retroscape, and still more Tefra stuff's coming out. You can always go check that out on the website. But for now, let's dig into Retroscape. Since it's a tie, and D, who is one of the amazing playtesters that have playtested the stuff with us, has voted Neuro Grind, I will do a Neuro Grind character first. And then chat, we will do a Timekeeper character afterwards, if that's what the chat would like to do. Sound good? I'm going to go with yes. One moment while I take a drink, because I like to talk way too much. Alright, well then, let's start out pretty straightforward. You may notice that the book on the left will move. That's because I have bookmarks set up, and it'll just do that. So don't worry, it'll be fixed in just a moment if it does that. So right here we have our amazing Neuro Grind artwork. I believe this was also done by Louise, so, you know, give him love and support in the chat and on all social medias and whatnot. We follow us on social media, then you can find them very quickly and easily. Which Kristen will put the lovely social media links in the chat in just a moment, I hope. But Neuro Grind, since that is who was chosen, let's talk about Neuro Grind. Neuro Grind is a lab all about robotics and nanotechnology and interfacing humans and robots together into a more cohesive being in some cases. All of their operatives replace one of their eyes with a robotic eye known as the Neural Interlink. It is a eye that connects them to a robot companion that they have. They are the only lab that starts out with a companion, which pretty fun, I think. Their companion's pretty simple. As you can see here, we have a robotic dog. I already have an idea for what I want to build, which may or may not have been inspired by the trailer for the new Trimmers remake I just saw, where Kevin Bacon is reprising his role as Valentine. Anyway, we'll talk about that later, maybe. Yes. Where was I? Sorry. I'll get used to this eventually. We're going to make a level 1 character for Neuro Grind, and then we'll actually just level them up to level 2, because character creation is meant to be very fast, very quick, and very easy. The basics of everything you need to know about character creation can be found if you have the book or the PDF on page 9. You also can see all of the other labs in a little synopsis so you know what they do. Give you an idea. So we got our character sheet, step 1. We're choosing a lab, which is going to be Neuro Grind. And then we're just going to follow the steps inside the lab, which is going to be putting down our hit points, our wound threshold, distributing attributes, and we'll go over each of these things as I go through them, which will probably take up most of the time. Just most of the time that we're doing is just explaining things. Skills, pick out our gear, and figure out our starting abilities and specialties. Then we fill out the little math bits, which is always the fun part, I think. I love math. But anyway, fill out our character sheet, pick a name. That is going to be the worst part for me because I am always terrible at picking out names, so I hope chat will help me pick out names. If not, his name might be Valentine Bacon. Because, again, Kevin Bacon inspired this. And you all have starting out gear, depending on what you are. Since we're level 2, we'll go up to... We'll get some credits as if we had adventured. So, let's kick it off. Alright, Neuro Grind. Our level 1 Neuro Grind character. Which character sheet is... Alright. So, first thing that we can see right off the bat right here. Level 1, we start with 30 hit points, which your hit points are found right here near the middle to bottom of the sheet. We have 30 hit points starting off. Your hit points are kind of like your stamina, like most video games or tabletop RPGs you played. Your hit points are, when you hit 0, you're knocked out. Sometimes you die, depending on what your character and system, right? In this one, you don't. This one, you get knocked unconscious. Collapsed. You collapse because you're still able to interact with your party members, but only in talking. So, 30 hit points. Then we have our wound threshold of 19. Now, here is the kind of important part for wound threshold. Your wound threshold is the target number. Well, it's the... How to explain wound threshold? It's so much easier in person. If you are hit with damage that equals or exceeds your wound threshold, you will take a wound. When you're wounded, you will be at disadvantage on your dice rolls, which means you'll roll 1 less dice. We'll go over the dice rolls in a moment. Basically, you're mortally wounded. Wound threshold. If something were to wound you again while you are already wounded, you will actually... Your character dies. They cease to exist. So if something wounds you, get away from it. Good, just solid advice, I think. Hello, Sonochi. I assume that's how I say your name right. If it's not, please let me know, and I will try and correct myself. But we have that already settled, so let's get our attributes figured out. With each lab, you start with 5. You get 5 points in attributes. Every attribute starts at 1. So our brawn, dexterity, intellect, social, and wisdom are all at 1. 1 is below human average. Human average is 2. That is the average for your size. So, with Neuro Grind, we got 5 points to spend, so I could put all 2 if I really wanted, but I have an idea, and I hope you guys will start seeing the idea as I go. With Neuro Grind, intellect is a big thing for them because they have to build the robots. So I'm going to put 2 of my 5 points in intellect. Then I kind of want to build a sharpshooter with this Neuro Grind character. Sounds a little bit off maybe, but you'll see at the end, I hope. So I'm going to put 1 for now. We got 2 more points. San Ochi. Okay. San Ochi or San. Got it. San Ochi. Thank you for telling me how to say your name correctly. I always prefer to say people's names correctly. Again, my name is Jake. For those who are just joining us, I design games at Parlor. This is our Retroscape character creation. So, my character's going to stay at a 1 brawn. He's not very strong. The concept I have for him. I'll go over that a bit. My concept I got is that they are a person that mines in the ground, much like Neurogrind's backstory, which you can kind of look through. They have the Pythos Gas Company, which is a mining operation company. There's also a lot of darker things in their backstory you can go read, which, again, all free at retroscaperpg.com. And with this character, they use their robot to mine through things. They are also known as a kind of a crack shot, keeping a distance from things that are coming near them and letting the robot kind of distract while they fire at them from a distance. When all else fails, hopping on the robot and getting as far away as possible. But that's the kind of idea I'm going with. So you'll see how that comes about. Social. So the brawn, I'm going to say, is pretty low, as even though they are a miner. I'm thinking they're more of a gas and intelligence person who uses the robot to do the mining for them. I'm going to go with they're not the most... I know I want a wisdom of at least 2, because that'll help with spotting cave-ins and things like that. And actually, I think I'm going to do a social of 2 as well, because I want this character to kind of be able to talk about things. And you know what? Because we're going with the Kevin Bacon Valentine inspiration from Tremors, I want him to be able to smart off and sass people. So I'm going to go with the social of 2 for now. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. And you'll get more points at higher levels, which can go to your attributes or your combat. But before we continue much further than that, we have... Actually, we'll finish skills first, then we'll do the rolling, because it gives you a better example of how to figure things out. So, we now have combat score of 0, so don't mark anything off. We have skills, 1 point in engineering, because, you know, I'm an engineer now. We get to choose 1 of the following skills to gain 1 point in, which can be jockey, knowledge, observation, or stealth. I think I'm going to go with knowledge on this one. Knowledge makes sense to me, because they kind of got to know what kind of gases and things they're dealing with, so that'll go with my character idea. Then we got choose any 2 skills you've not already chosen this level to gain 1 point. So, we got all of these skills here. I think I'm going to go with jockey, and there's a reason for that, and we'll go over that later. It'll be pertinent. And then I think I'm going to go observation, because you want to be able to tell when something's about to happen that's very dangerous. Yes. Kristen, I'm so happy that you were quoting Tremors to me right now. It makes my day even better. So, let's talk about, before we continue on with the character creation, let's talk about how Retroscape is actually played. It's pretty simple, pretty quick, and pretty easy. At least I like to think so. Your attributes will determine your dice pool. So we use D12s and D20s for the Volcanic RPG engine, which is the game engine we've been designing for Retroscape. In it, you roll up to 5 dice. In this case, your attributes determine how many D12s you roll. So if I am going to roll my intellect to try and figure out if a particular rock might be explosive, might be dangerous to touch, something like that, I can roll my intellect, which means I will be rolling 3 D12s, rolling all 3 of those, and comparing each dice to a target number. Let's say my target number is 6, and if I get a 6, a 7, and a 4, It means I got 2 successes. And with those 2 successes, I know this rock is not going to explode when I throw it in my bag. And it can be very useful for fire starting. Now, in that same regard, let's say I need to do something that involves heavy lifting. I have my brawn of 1, so I only get to roll 1d12. Now, there are ways to upgrade your dice. That's where the d20s come into play. If I'm rolling my intellect to figure out the rock, as we were talking about, I have a knowledge of 1. So, with my 1 knowledge, I actually get to upgrade one of my d12s into a d20. So now I'm rolling a d12, I'm rolling 2 d12s and 1 d20. 3 dice total because I have a 3 intellect. Pretty quick, pretty easy. You roll all that, compare each one, and combat works a very similar way, where if I'm trying to attack someone with a knife, I will use my brawn, and if I have a 2 brawn, I get to roll 2 d12s. For each success, I will deal more damage, which will show when we're going over weapons and such. For things like melee attacks and ranged attacks, combat is what upgrades your attributes. So with a combat of 1, I would get to roll a d20 and a d12 with my dexterity. But we're here for character creation, so let's go back to that and figure out what else we're getting with this character. So, at level 1, my Neuro Grind character. I have the Neuro Interlink, which summarized my eye has been replaced with an advanced Neuro Interlink, which is the robotic eye, big glowing red eye. Allows me to connect to any robots that I have created or am partnered with, such as my robot that we're going to have right now. And I can communicate with them up to 100 yards as long as they're within 100 yards of me. Pretty good. Pretty easy, especially if I am paralyzed or for some reason collapse, like if I hit 0 hit points, I can still control my robot. So, pretty useful. I also get my interlinked robot, which is my little robot I have. Has some very basic stats, which you can see on the right side of this sheet. Has 0 hit points, but it'll get upgrades, give it hit points, and we'll go over that. It's a medium-sized creature, which is the same size as me. Has a speed of 10 yards. Its brawn is 1, and its dexterity is 1. It's kind of wimpy to start out with, but it will get stronger when we level up. So the robot itself can look very basic and easy. It can look like a large animal, it can look like a human, whatever. Because again, Kevin Bacon, am going to make it look kind of like a velociraptor, a medium-sized one. Kind of like the, I'm blanking on their name, but it's what the graboids turn into after them. Shriekers? I don't remember. I really can't remember, and I feel bad now. Yep, that's correct. Tremors is amazing. Go watch it. But it's going to be a 2-legged, has 4 arms, but 2 big legs and 2 little small arms, because it doesn't really need the arms for what I'm going to have it doing. That is it. I can control it very easily just by using my eye. I can use my action, which is the focus of my turn, which means I can attack with my action, things like that. I can use my action to move, to have the robot do an action, such as if I want the robot to attack. I can also use my maneuver to move. If I move, me and the robot also can move at the same time. So, very useful that way you're not having to both do it. If I want to move, it'll move too. Or, in the case of what I'm going to be doing, which means it'll be a mount when I finish with it, I hope. Has all the other little things you can do. It has a basic unarmed attack. So, here's a good example. You can see right here where it says 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Let's say that our robot has a brawn of 2. When it attacks, it shriekers. Shriekers. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you. Shriekers. They were shriekers. If I get 2 successes on my attack roll with my robot, he'll actually do 10 damage to the target instead of just 5 with 1 success. He can hold things. He can wear outfits. He has armor. The other kind of fun thing you can do with them is they can self-destruct. My little robot buddy's going to go run off and save me by attacking the giant monster and exploding while I run away. That roll is actually using my intellect in combat, so that means I get to roll 3 dice with it. So if I were to get 3 successes, I could actually deal 20, 28, 36 total damage to the creature that's attacking. It also explodes and does an area of effect, so anything adjacent to it will be hit. Pretty useful, I think. But we also have the last 2 things we get at this level is our Interlink Upgrades. So we get 2 Interlink Upgrades, which we will be going over. I love Kevin Bacon. I love Kevin Bacon. And yes, Raptor in a top hat. I will now buy a hat for my Raptor just for you, Sanochi. Sanochi. Yeah, I'll get that right. But we get 2 Interlink Upgrades, which we'll go over. We also get a specialty, which again we will go over. But first, we'll go over our Interlink Upgrades because people can start seeing what I'm making with this robot character. We're gonna go scroll down to Interlink Upgrades. Now, I did kind of already pre-plan, just because I had an idea. The first one that we're going to pick up. So we have all of these upgrades, which as you'll see in the corner of on them, they have the little how much HP that you get with upgrades. And you'll get more upgrades as you level up. It's denoted in the chart, so you can check that out. The first one we are going to get is Size Up. Size Up is a great upgrade for this robot because it increases the size of my robot so that it can now be ridden and used as a mount, which means that I can actually ride atop my giant raptor creature who's going to wear a top hat, don't worry. And that is how I will get around the mines. So I will go ahead and mark down. Well, let's mark down first. Depends if neural interlink robot. I'm just giving a very quick robot. It's a raptor bot. And I get 2 of these. My first one is going to be Size Up. Plus 15 health to my little buddy. And he can now be used as a mount. Wonderful. Now, I also mentioned that my character works in the mines. So, I was thinking about getting mining equipment for this character. Mining equipment is a very fun upgrade, actually, that I forgot we had made, which allows the robot to burrow through the ground. Its burrow speed is treated as it's going through unsteady terrain, so its speed is normally 10 yards. It can only move 1 space for every 2 yards of speed, so it can move 5 spaces on a grid. But it can burrow through loose dirt, terrain, ground, things like that. Can't burrow through steel or other tough materials, but it creates a tunnel that it also closes behind it thanks to its mining technology, so nobody can follow the tunnel. Unfortunately, you can't use it to sneak into places, but just wait. There's something fun happening at level 2 that we'll talk about. But I'm going to take my mining equipment so that my little raptor can dig a tunnel, dig a tunnel. That song has been in my head since I started making this character, so I hope you all enjoy it as well. Don't worry, YouTube's algorithm can't possibly tell what I just said because I am a terrible singer. I'm now trying to read chat as well. I'm very sorry that I am not as good at multitasking yet. Wonderful. So, that is our interlink, actually. So we have a raptor, which is by a top hat for, so I don't forget that. Remind me of that when we get to that point. But it is a raptor that is a larger size, so it's able to run around very easily. It can also burrow into the ground and create a small tunnel so that it can slide into the ground. Now, what I've been picturing is that it is going to literally just be under the ground just a bit, so that the Kevin Bacon-esque character can surf atop its saddle, and it just looks like a saddle going across the ground as this thing burrows. It's not going to move fast by any means, but I really like the idea, so I'm going to go with that. And now, sorry, I'm reading what we're doing next. Let's pick out our specialty. Our specialty, actually, we're going to need to go up here for that. Excuse me. So the specialty that I would decide to go with, we have a bunch of specialties. So, actually, I'll show off the Neuro Grind ones first. All the labs have exclusive specialties. Specialties are kind of like your little extra flavor and building blocks that makes you even more unique. If you are very good at fighting melee fighters, there's specialties that allow you to be a better melee fighter. There's specialties that allow you to be more social, gain equipment that you might not otherwise be able to get for a cheap price. Lots of different things. So one of the ones here we have for Neuro Grind, which is a Neuro Grind exclusive one, is Carbon Skin. It gives you a soak of 2 against physical damage, so all damage you get hit with that's physical is reduced by 2. At level 2, you're able to repair your body with your Nano Swarm. Yes, at level 2, you get a Nano Swarm. We'll talk about that in a moment. You are also able to eat non-organic matter, such as minerals and metals, as if they were organic food. It doesn't let you eat poisonous things or toxic things, but you can live on a diet of rocks and coal. Now, I really like that. However, it's an origin-only specialty, so I'm going to come... No, that one is an origin-only. Oof. No, that one's not. Is it? Hang on, let me double-check. No, it's not an origin specialty. Wonderful. So we have origin specialties, which can only be taken at level 1. Yes, Daniel, I am. You were unable to do this, so I'm making Kevin Bacon riding a dirt raptor. I shall call it Clarence. Or Clarabelle. I don't know. Chat, you name the robot dirt raptor. So, I'm not going to take this right now, because I have an idea. But I do want to come back with this, just because I really like the image of this raptor digging through the dirt, and then this character just eating rocks for sustenance. Don't you sigh at me, Daniel. You caused this. But what I am going to take is a specialty that I very much love. Especially for a character who will one day be eating rocks and coal. For sustenance. Dig Clarence. Good pun. I'm going to be taking High Resistance, which raises all of my resist by 2. Now, what resists are? My resist, which we didn't get to go over yet, which is, you know, all the fun of learning how to stream. Your resists are based on your attributes. This is kind of like the target number someone needs to affect you. If someone's trying to push you, they're rolling against your brawn resist. If they're trying to sneak up on you, they're going to be rolling their dexterity against your wisdom resist. If they're trying to cause you to do something foolish like charge at them or antagonize you or scare you, they might be rolling against your social resist. So, it is your attribute multiplied by 3. So right now my brawn is 1, so I have a brawn resist of 3. I have a dexterity of 6. I have an intellect resist of 9. I have a social resist of 6, because I'm quippy like that. And I have a wisdom resist of 6. So, you know, pretty good solid averages. Clarence it is, then. The chat likes Clarence. Clarence it is. But I'm going to take High Resistance, which increases all of my resists by 2. So, kind of fits this character. They're very tough, very weathered, been beaten down. They're gonna resort to eating rocks soon, it sounds like. So this goes up to a 5. Oh, this goes up to an 8. Then we have 11. Another 8. And finally an 8. So we're pretty tough. We're tougher than the average person. So that's pretty good. I think that's a good solid specialty for us, which we're going to put right here. High resistance. And even if you exceed 20 for some reason, a 20 will still hit you. It will still succeed against you. That way you can't get like a 26, which is impossible to hit at that point, which is just, that'd be very boring, we think. But that's on page 81 for those who might have the PDF or book with them. It's a very fun specialty, I think, and I'm definitely going to be taking Carbon Skin at level 3, so watch out. Kevin Bacon's going to be eating rocks and surfing dirt raptors. Next up, we're going to buy our equipment. Ooh, it's the fun part. It's everyone's favorite part, shopping. Who doesn't love to shop? And the amount we have is 160 to start out. So, what to buy? So what I'm thinking with this character is that the raptor does most of the work. At least, sort of. It's the rideable mount. So, it's used to ride around and going to have a rifle that fires at a distance. That way you can get away safely, but also, you know, still be riding a cool raptor. So we're going to go to operative equipment on page 85. We have inventory slots, which I have a brawn of 1, so I only have 12 inventory slots. That's good to check out. Inventory slots are not necessarily something being like big, heavy, anything like that. Your inventory slots are based on all of that. So a sword is generally going to be 2 slots, but you might have a little rock that's only about the size of your hand, but it weighs almost a half ton, so it actually might be 2 or 3 slots just by pure size and weight. It just kind of condenses all of that into one thing. Let's buy some armor first, because armor's always important, right? So we have 160 to go for. So we're just going to put 160. I think I'm going to stick with some utilitarian clothing. Wow. Yeah, this is what happens when Daniel makes me talk. I can't talk sometimes. So utilitarian clothes, which are 5 credits, pretty cheap, pretty easy. Utilitarian clothes. Now, here's part of combat we get to talk about. Your clothing, outfits, armor, whatever you're buying, helps determine what your total defense is. So your defense is determined by the armor rating of the outfit you're wearing, your dexterity score, and your wisdom score. So my dexterity is 2. My wisdom is also 2. And my armor rating for this is actually 0, because utilitarian clothes they're just basic clothes. They're not meant to deflect bullets or bites or things like that. But they have a max dexterity that's high. That's good for me. Max dexterity is 5, and 5 for dexterity and wisdom. If my max dexterity was, say, 1, I'd only get 1 for my defense. Bevan Kaken. Bevan Kaken here. Yeah, let's go with that. I wish I could do a Kevin Bacon voice, then I could just do that. Yes, I love and hate RPG shopping. That's why I did it a little bit ahead of time, so I knew what I was doing. My defense right now is going to total to 4, which means any die that shows a 4 or higher is not going to be good for me. But I am also going to buy something very useful. I'm going to buy myself a shield, which gives me a deflection bonus of 3. Normally my deflection bonus is naturally a 1. With my shield, it will be a 3. So when I use my maneuver to activate my deflection and kind of take a more defensive posture, my defense now becomes a 7. So, you know, I'm definitely a squishy operative, which is okay. I meant to take the hits, or I meant to just fire from really far away, not take the hits. I'm going to buy myself a shield, which is 2. Utilitarian clothes are 1. But since we're doing this, I'm also going to buy myself a Kim suit, because a Kim suit just seems like a really smart idea. So I'm down to 130. My shield is 25. My clothing was 5. A Kim suit, which is airtight. So if for some reason I do have chemicals where I'm exploring, then I can be saved. My robot doesn't really need that, so he's all good. So I'll have my Kim suit folded up in my back pocket, so it's good to go and ready for me. It does have a maximum dexterity of 2 and maximum wisdom of 2 as well, so I've got to be careful of that. When I level, if I have a higher dexterity, but for now we're all good. That brings me to 110 right now. It's very true. Bevan, Kaken, and Clarence are going to save everyone. I guess I should have called him like Earl or something, but Clarence feels right. Now, I'm actually going to buy something for my robot real quick. I'm going to buy them some armor because they can wear armor. It's outfitted specifically for them, but that's okay. I'm actually going to buy them road leathers because I can afford it, and it'll give my little robot a +2 to their resist, which with they use my wisdom, so they get a 2 with their wisdom, and their dexterity is only a 1. So their defense will now be a 5, which is nice. So their defense is higher than my defense, which we'll put right here. Road leathers, robot. 3, but we'll put a little star just because I'm not actually carrying it. He is. Also, it kind of gives him a cool leathery look to him, which, you know, I think is pretty cool. That's a 40, so that is 110 minus 40, which is 70. I did it. I did the math. And that is everything for them. So, let's go ahead and buy some weapons real quick, because you kind of need weapons if you're going to be fighting bad things, right? I think what I'm going to go for is pretty straightforward. I'm going to get myself a rifle, because, you know, we talked about him having a rifle of some sort. I'm going to get him a hunting rifle, because I like the idea of him having a hunting rifle. It has a good range to it, and has some decent enough damage to it as well. I'm still doing okay on my inventory slots right now. Yep, so let's go ahead and add this up here to my hunting rifle. Since it is a ranged weapon, it will use my dexterity, so I get to roll 2 d12s from my dice pool. The damage for my rifle is 6 at tier 1. At tier 2, it's a 13, then a 21, then a 30. Then if I get to a tier 5 somehow, it's 40. Range for this bad boy is a whole 150 yards. So, you know, lots of distance to keep between everyone. So, yes, and then just because, you know, sometimes you might run out of ammo, something might be close up to you, and you need to deal with it a little bit more close range. That is another 40, so let's not forget to take that out. So, down to 30 credits. Let's see what happens next. I am going to grab myself a nice blade. But I want something pretty easy to hide, so I'm going to get myself a knife. Knife is only 10 credits, so I still will have 20 left to go buy a hat for my lovely raptor, and also, you know, gear, equipment, food, things like that. You know, the important things in life. The hat's the most important, I think. And my knife, which I'll have here, it does use my bronze, so I'll only get to roll 1d12. Damage to that is 6, 12, 18, 24, and 30. Range is adjacent. And now I've got a knife. He's got a knife. My speed is 10 yards. Pretty simple, pretty quick, pretty easy. The last few things to figure out right now. Initiative. My initiative is determined by my dexterity and my wisdom. So I add my 2 dexterity and my 2 wisdom. I have initiative of 4. I do also have my unarmed strike, which I should fill out. That is a 1d12 because it is based on punching. That's a 5, 10. Oh, that's a 10, 20, and 25. And I believe our character at level 1, Bevan, Kaken, and Clarence, are now complete. So, I have to review. I have my Neuro Grind operative here, who is a mining specialist, with his robot companion, Clarence, who is a raptor-shaped creature that can mine through the ground, also be used as a mount. I have my clothes, Kim suit, a shield to defend myself, a hunting rifle, some leather armor for my robot, and a knife. I have an increased resistance, thanks to my high resistance specialty. And I think that's everything. So, let's quickly do a level 2, and then see if we can knock out character creation with the chat. I know we ran a little long there, but, you know, all the fun testing, and wanted to make sure that people were in the chat for us to enjoy this Kevin Bacon Retroscape character. Level 2. Alright, at level 2, a couple of things take place. So let's look at our table first so we can just show you what takes place. Right here at level 2, our hit points increase by 13 to 43. So let me just go ahead, mark that down. Oh, let me not forget to mark down I'm level 2 now. My wound threshold also goes up by 1, so my wound threshold is now 20, a little bit tougher. Good, good. I get Nano Swarm, which we'll go over. Custom Enhancement, which goes to my robot, and Attribute Advancement, which goes to me. So I can increase an attribute or my combat score by 1. I also will get one more Interlink upgrade, which this is what I was waiting for, because I hope you all enjoy what's going to happen next. Because there is an upgrade that I really want to get for this raptor, and because the image of it made me laugh, and that's the entire reason I want to make this character. Alright then. Nano Swarm at level 2. Let's go ahead and mark some of this stuff down for us. Our Nano Swarm. This is where some fun stuff starts happening for Neuro Grind. Granted, all of this is fun, I think, but they can control a swarm of nanobots that fly around them, nearly invisible to the naked eye. The swarm can move up to 10 yards from you or your interlinked robot. So if your robot is more than 10 yards away, you basically have 2 conduits for this effect to take place in. You can either repair items, which is the construct effect, or you can damage items and people and structures with the deconstruct effect. Pretty straightforward when you enter the stance that is you controlling your Nano Swarm. You can choose either to deconstruct a target, which will deal 3 points of decay damage to them each turn. While you are in the stance, you can use your maneuver to inflict 3 more points of damage to the target. In the reverse order, if you decide to target someone with construct, you can spend repair them for 3 points of damage. So your robot or ourselves at a higher level, if we take carbon skin, or an item or things like that. Same thing. Maneuver can be used to increase your to repair 3 more hit points. So that is pretty easy. Now we get custom enhancement. So I get to increase my robot's brawn or dexterity. Now, when I asked the chat, do you think I should increase his brawn or dexterity? My gut reaction was brawn. Let the big robot be kind of the close range fighter. That way when we are separated, it's easier for them to kind of do that. Then if they are... That way I'll probably... And I also get to increase my own attribute. I can either increase an attribute I have, or I can up my combat. No, when you activate this ability, a stance is simply you're focusing on that thing. So you are able to actually keep moving around unless the stance says otherwise. You're able to keep moving around. You're just concentrating on that. That's what's taking your attention. There are multiple stances you can take in the game. You just can only be in one at a time. So, for example, I can only be in deconstruct or construct. I can't be in both at the same time. Dexterity. Right. So dexterity for the robot, I assume, is what that is. Or is that... All right. So for the... I see 2 dex. That's true. So for my robot, brawn. For me, dexterity. Is that what the votes are? I'm assuming that's what the votes mean. I could be very, very wrong. Clumsy meat screamers. That is indeed what they were called. Let me just double check. All right. So yes. Yeah. Let's go ahead and increase his brawn to 2, and we'll increase my dexterity so I can, be a better shot for keep Clarence safe. That makes sense to me. All right. So his brawn is 2. His dexterity is still a 1, which is okay. So his defense is still currently a 5. Now, that does increase my dexterity, so my resist will also go up. My dice pool will also go up. So I'm above average in shooting ranged weapons and dexterity in general. My defense also goes up now, so I'm a little bit harder to hit as well, which is good because, no one wants to see Bevan Cake and go down. Along with this, at level 2, since we're acting like I have level 2, we get 300 credits for leveling, as if I had gone through an adventure and earned 300 credits. So we'll buy some stuff for our robot and Bevan. But this is the important part. This is the thing you've been waiting for. The upgrade that I'm gonna buy for Clarence, the Dirt Raptor, is this right here, which I had to have size up, which I already have. It is called Passenger. You can crawl into your interlinked robot and ride along inside of it safely. Your robot is able to quickly pull you in to the passenger compartment, and only you can sit inside. So, to be clear, what's going to be happening is I'm going to have a raptor that's able to dig through the dirt. Will then pop out of the dirt. I will then pop out of it, fire at them, and then pop back in as it pops back down in the dirt. I'm going to wait to let that sink in. Because if you don't love that, you're wrong. But I still love you. I have to wait now for the chat because the chat It's either they've gone completely dark or they're unsure of what to say to me. Yes, it is entirely like that scene. That is the entire reason I did this. Thank you for getting that reference, Kristen. Points to you. Raptor submarine. No, you will never cut open Clarence with a chainsaw. Clarence is there to keep me safe. So that I can pop out, attack things, then go away. So, because that seems to be approved, I'm going to go ahead and take that passenger. I do love you, Daniel. I said I do. Passenger, which will give me plus 10 HP. Can ride inside the robot raptor. And you know what we're going to do real quick? We're going to go ahead and buy some better armor for our little robot buddy, which can be found in the crafting section. We're going to go to the outfits upgrade. Look at that awesome right there. We're going to buy with our 300 credits we now have. So you're at 320. We're going to go ahead and buy improved rating for them to increase their armor rating by 1. So it was at 2, now it's plus 1. So he's now at a 6 defense. Make him a little bit more hard to hit. You know, protect my boy. Protect Clarence, the great robot. And he's now got 35 hit points, which we're getting close to each other. He's going to probably bypass me soon at this rate. And with that, I think that takes care. Because if I took Serpent, I wouldn't be able to do the other 2 things I already did with him. That's going to be level 4. Level 4, he'll become a Serpent. Don't worry. Then he can be a Graboid. Right now, I had to work with what I had. Okay, can't get everything I want at first level, Kristen. It's okay though. All right, with that, Neuro Grind, this character is done. Well, I have to change one thing. I get a skill point. I forgot I get a skill. I am silly. So I'm going to go ahead and increase. I'm going to increase my charm because this character is meant to be a charming character. You know, go with that social. Give him that +1 charm. And I think that is good to go. Just double check and make sure there's nothing I forgot. Yeah, we are good to go now. This character is done. Bevan Kaken and Clarence, the Raptor. I guess it's time to do the chat created one. Kristen, Daniel, do you think do that or save that for next time, or what would you like to do? Also ask the chat if they want to, you know, go through this or if they have ideas. In case people have been going to the website retroscaperpg.com, #plug for website or something like that. If you're just joining, welcome. You missed character creation, but you may be about to see another character creation. We're waiting on chat to decide that. My name is Jake. I work at parlorgaming.com. It is a website and company in which we make tabletop RPGs like Tephra, the steampunk role-playing game, and Retroscape, our brand new game we're working on and is in playtesting and development. you know what? We are at an hour, so let's go ahead. Yes, let's see what chat says. I can probably do one more. I can do one more, I think. But we are about an hour, so I figured we can cut if we need to, if not. But if you want to check out everything, well, the fact that one of you wants to do it, that means I gotta do it, I guess. So, all right, Sonochi. Then, Sonochi, I want you to choose a lab for me, okay? Choose one of our labs, which, let's go to the real quick. We have... Oh, wait. Wait for the chat. Wait for the chat. Wait for the chat. I'm waiting for the chat. I didn't close it. Don't worry. Speedrun. All right. Daniel, your job is going to be... I want you to find me a specialty. Sonochi, I want you to choose what lab I'm going to do a speedrun character creation for. We have Anatomics, which is our creepy worm developers who make worms, parasites, other lovely things. They're kind of the healers and enhancements. We have Ascent, monster genetic modification. Take monster DNA, splice it in your own body. Core Plus, they make themselves into cyborgs. Depot, they use math to open portals to other dimensions. Magic math wizards. Facet, they use light to bend light. Yes. Network is a... Oh, yes. Network is able to manipulate memory and mind-altering technology and be a very social character. Neuro Grind, we just went over. Timekeepers, they tweak the flow and perception of time. They don't stop it, but they make it really bend around. Tribe, also known by us lovingly as the Friction Ninjas, who use tribology, the study of friction. Run along walls, make arrows pierce through walls that are 2 feet thick, all kinds of things. Math wizards, is that better? Magic math wizards. You're just mean, Kristen. Sharpest lives forever, you are also welcome to. I want you to decide, well, Sonochi's going to decide what kind of lab we're going to play. Sharpest lives, I want you to decide, what do you decide? What should we have you decide? You know what? I don't know. What you guys, timekeepers. All right. I see timekeepers. So let's go ahead and jump to timekeepers then. All right. You know what? Sharpest lives, if you're still there, I want you to decide if I'm going to make a support character, a tank character, or a just really damage dealing character. You decide that for me. While we showcase some of the timekeeper stuff. And I drink some water. Let's go ahead and... Oh, look, I already had a character sheet waiting for you all. I was ready. Level 1. You know what? Hang on 1 second. I'm going to fix something. Poison... Ooh, support character. I have a headphone that I think I can plug in. Poison and support. This is going to be interesting. Alright, so we're going to make a timekeeper that is a support-based character and uses poison in their support. So, let's start. Timekeepers start with 31 hit points. Yes, freelancers are still there. Freelancers are actually their own. They're the build your own lab, so to speak. And I see Kristen's already answering, so I'll just let them answer because I have to focus on this, I suppose. All right, so we have hit points of 31, wound threshold of 19. You know what? I'm going to have you guys decide. Wisdom, we're going to start it. We're going to have wisdom be a 3, just because that makes sense. What do you think the next highest should be? First one I see, that's going to go to a 3. Whether it's brawn, dexterity, intellect, or social, whatever you choose is going to go to a 3 right now. I have to wait for Chad to catch up, unfortunately. All right, since I saw intellect first, I'm going to have intellect go up to 3, and social is going to be my 2. So, that is going to be our character. That is our support character. Wisdom of 3. We got intellect of 3 and social of 2. That sound good to you guys? Well, I figured that out. We have 1 engineer. Well, since it changed, you know what? I'll change it. Social's 3, intellect's 2. Alright, we have an engineer of 1. I now get to choose 1 skill between art, determination, knowledge, and observation. I'm going to make that call. I'm going to say art because this character might be a little bit unhinged in thinking that a support character just supports by putting everyone else down on the ground. And then 2 skills. Determination's a good one because that helps you fight off poison. And then I think, what is the last skill you guys want to have? All right, so we have 1 more skill point. Do you guys want it in athletics, charms, jockey, knowledge, manipulation, observation, or stealth? I'll fill out some other things while we do that. Alright, I see manipulation. You're supposed to be supporting me. I poisoned everyone. That's supportive. You know what? That is a true rogue player right there. So, we are going to go with this. This is pretty amazing. Alright, let's go over some of the abilities real quick. Oh, I found my typo I just did. So I'll have to go over that later. So, first ability we get is called Build Momentum. You speed up the flow of time, gaining 1 momentum. So, normally, you get 1 point of momentum at the end of your turn. Your momentum is your momentum in combat. It allows you to use certain abilities and activate them that would require concentration or focus So you're not just spamming abilities. It allows us to kind of break up the pace so you can do more powerful things. Not every turn. My party won't die if they never encounter a living enemy. I love it. All right, so I can spend one momentum. I can spend my maneuver to gain another point of momentum. Along with that, I can share my momentum with someone within 100 yards with share momentum. So I am basically a momentum battery for all of my allies and friends. The final thing we get as a timekeeper is Vessel of Time. A Vessel of Time is what allows us to actually manipulate time. It's our ability to tweak the flow of time, speed it up, reverse it, things like that. How we do that is with timepieces. They're literal timepieces. One of the playtesters I worked with asked if they could have a cuckoo clock be theirs, and I thought that was hilarious, so they had just a bunch of mini cuckoo clocks. But we get 3 timepieces, which we'll go over. And we get a specialty, which we've already been chosen as Poison Crafters, so let's just go ahead and do that. We also get 160 credits. So yeah, Daniel, I threw this together today. I do not have the ability to play cool music in the background, especially if it's royalty music. So we have 3 timepieces to choose from now. Support classes. There's a lot of things we can do. You know what? Here's a very useful one already. Pull from time. Can you have one of those clocks with the shifty eyes and tail? I'm going to say yes. Yes, you can. So, one of the ones I'm going to say is pull from time, which I'll give you the brief synopsis. I'll read it to you. After you or an ally uses a consumable item, you can spend 3 momentum and pull the item back from time. Yes. Oh, thank you, Daniel. Yes, let's do pull from time. That way we'll be able to use a poison, stab someone with it, and then pull that poison back from time and use it again. Now, the item is only temporary, however, so you can't just keep pulling the same thing, obviously. All right, let's see what else we got. So, we have a support character. So here's 2 really good support timepieces, I think. And I want you guys to decide between the 2. We have Try Again, which you are going to roll your Wisdom and Engineer against the Wisdom resist of an enemy to make them re-roll something they just did. So, an example would be them trying to resist the poison that you just used. If they succeed, you could spend 2 momentum to make them re-roll and use the new results. Or, if we actually want to be a little bit more of a helpful supportive character, Do Over, which lets you help an ally to redo a dice pool roll. That one only costs 1 momentum, so they can also refuse to do it, obviously. So, would you like to make the enemy re-roll against your poisons, or would you like to help your ally re-roll against things? I see one vote for do-over. Okay, I see 2 for do-over. I'm going to go with do-over. Do-over. Alright, we have one more timepiece to do. And obviously we could do the try again if you guys want. Or we could do another one that's just, I think, kind of funny. So we have our pull from time we already did. We also have placed out of time, in which you get to roll. Thanks, Daniel. Throwing me off. Placed out of time allows you to push a target into one of the many paths of time. If you successfully roll against their wisdom resist, you can move them up to their speed into a space of their choosing. It won't be a space that's dangerous to them, so they won't move into lava pit, but you could make them move back. If they have a speed of 25 yards, you can make them move back a whole 25 yards. So we could do place at a time, or we could try again, which we already know about, or we have rewind damage, which allows you to negate some damage, rewind some damage that was just dealt. So yeah, we'll go place at a time, which allows you to move a target to a safe space that won't cause them damage. Rewind damage, which allows them to undo some damage. I'm going to say yes, they talk in reverse. But it's them like talking about why am I going backwards, why am I moving this way, but it's just reversed, so it's very hard to understand. Alright, so place at a time, rewind damage, or try again. Right now it looks like I got 1 vote for place at a time and 2 votes for rewind damage. I think I might go with that. Okay, rewind damage it is. We'll go ahead and take that one. Wind damage for 1 momentum. And this must happen immediately after the damage is dealt. You can restore 5 hit points for every 1 point of momentum. It will not stop a wound from occurring, though. It basically means that the damage takes place, and then you reverse it afterwards. So if they were wounded, they're already wounded. We already have our poison crafting. So, I guess we're going to go buy some equipment for them. Well, actually, let's go check out our specialties so that we can show you what Poison Crafter does. Poison crafting. I have an intellect of 2, so we're good. I get 250 credits worth of poisons and upgrades at no cost to me. I also can craft poisons and upgrades at half the price listed. So, we have a lot of poisons. Let's buy some armor. Do we want to go basic outfit, light armor, or heavy armor? Light armor seems like a good idea. You know what? Let's go ahead and we have 160. Hmm. Yeah, light armor seems like a good idea. We have a wisdom of 3, so we want to try and use that. Let's go with light leather because that gives us a rating of 1, but it also has a max dex of 3 and a max wisdom of 3, so we still get our full wisdom benefit for now. So that's our armor rating of 1, dexterity of 1, wisdom of 3. So our defense is going to be a 5. I'm thinking a cloak. How do you guys feel about a cloak? I feel right for this character. The shield does do more deflection, obviously, but a cloak just feels right. None of the weapons. Well, we could buy some grenades if we want to do some splash damage on things. But, ooh, we should. Yes, so cloak for sure. You know what, Sonochi, you just gave me an idea. I'm gonna figure out how to coat poisons onto grenades. Now, theoretically, you should be able to do it now, but it makes it. I'm not sure. It feels like it shouldn't work. So, I'm going to figure that out during development. If we name him Cyanide, he has to be just all cyan. All right, so he's got a cloak. All right, Cyan Nick. Cyanic. Cyanic. All right. Hang on, let me see. There we go. His name is Cyan Night Arson Nick. Oh, I like Daniels more. All right. Nope. I gotta go with Daniels. I was gonna make his middle name all together, but all right. Let's figure out what kind of weapons. No, I like Daniels more, so I'm gonna go with Daniels though. I just heard myself say my sign and yeah. Let's crossbows. All right. You know what? I'm thinking crossbows. You guys think a hand crossbow or like a big heavy crossbow? Big hand crossbow or hand crossbow could dual wield some hand crossbows, or could do a big massive crossbow, like get some big distance with it. There are other weapons obviously as well if we want to go like heavy rifles. We want to make an axe that we hit people with and poison them that way. Daniel, I'm going to say, while I'm waiting for chat to load, nozzled weapons, we definitely need to make a uh, poison flamethrower thing. You know what? Let's see. Hand crossbows are 15. Big crossbows 30. So we could get both for 60. You know what? Let's do it. So for 60, that means we're going to go down to 75. Let's get dual. Dual hand crossbows, which are 4 slots. Ugh. Large crossbow, which is 3 slots. We're pushing that. And crossbow, which will be 1d12. I will say, we also can't actually dual wield them currently. Like, we can hold them both. We just can't use the benefits because we're at disadvantage on dual wielding currently. So, it's not really dual wielding, but it looks like we're dual wielding. We'll go with that. And we'll have the range on there. Oh, come on. You can do this. Large crossbow is 1d12 as well. Level 2 will have dual wielding, don't worry. Yes, I'm gonna get the syringe ammo. Syringe ammo. So actually, let's go grab some ammo real quick. Ammunition. Syringe ammo. Now, do we want to buy the damaging syringe ammo or the non-damaging syringe ammo? Damaging is 50 and non-damaging is 20. So we could get both technically if we really want. Oh, the difference is the damaging one will still deal the damage of the weapon itself, and then the poison will be injected. Without if it's just the regular syringe ammo, we will only apply the poison, which they'll still roll against. So you can basically buy twice as much syringe ammo as you can damaging syringe ammo is the big difference. But besides the damage, if that makes sense, yes. A little late. Brain's starting to shut down just a bit. Both? All right. I am more than happy to get both. So we will go ahead and grab both those, which will drop us down to 5 credits. All right, and we have syringe. Yeah, we are done with our character now. Yeah, so this is Cyan Nick, whose first nickname while he was working with a group was Cyanide, but when he was working in a different group, his name became Arsenic, and so his new teammates just stuck it together to make Cyanic. That was thanks to Daniel for his backstory. He is a timekeeper who is a poison crafter, uh, who is also able to manipulate time. He can spend momentum to cause uh, allies to re-roll their dice so that they can do better. He also can spend momentum to actually pull items that have just recently been used back from time so you can reuse them. He can also undo some damage that is dealt. We have a future dual wielding crossbow, hand crossbows, and one big massive crossbow that I have a feeling will like add a big scope to and put some long range to it down the road. So I think Kristen and Daniel, if I'm not mistaken, this character is ready to go and might now have to become a NPC at time for the timekeepers just because. We have Bevan Kaken, our Neuro Grind Raptor riding sniper. We also now have Cyan Nick, who is our timekeeper poison expert. Um, and you know, in a few weeks from now, we'll have to make another stream, I'm sure, and maybe we can get Daniel on here, and he can make 2 more characters for you guys, and then we'll have a squad of 4 that will make famous, make them icons in Retroscape. Uh, Again, my name is Jake. I'm a developer at parlorgaming.com. We make games like Retroscape, which is currently in development. Go to retroscaperpg.com. If you want to check out all of this stuff, it's on there for free. If you want to go buy the book, you can go buy it at parlorgaming.com. You can also buy the PDF there as well. The book is $20. You get the PDF for free if you buy the book, physical book. You can also get PDF online. Well, I believe it's $8. It might be 7. I'm gonna say it's 8 just in case. It's on Drive-Thru RPG now, I believe. Might be getting that wrong. Um, we also have a Patreon. If you want to go support us on Patreon, for just $5 or for any amount, we have $1 all the way up to $20 amounts. You can go check out all the stuff. We're doing Patreon exclusive stuff, which are going to be adding more things to that. We're going to try and do more streams, YouTube videos, things like that. After, we are also going to be, announcements for stuff. We are going to be at ChupacabraCon May 3rd to the 5th, which is in Austin, Texas. We'll be running games there. Both Daniel and I are each running a game. 2 games, actually. Each of us running 2 games. I'll be at CantCon July 19th to 21st. That is in the Kansas City area, Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas area. You can find more at cantcon.com. K-A-N-T for Kant. You can also follow us on social media, which our Facebook is Parlor Gaming. Facebook is facebook.com/Parlor Gaming. You can find the links in the chat right now. You can also find us on Instagram, which is Parlor_Gaming. I think that's everything I have to promote. Oh, Discord. We have a Discord. Literally, the reason we did this is because of our Discord chat. You can find the link in the chat. Kristen will share it in just a moment. You can also find it on our website, on our YouTube channel, all this stuff. I hope you enjoyed this test of doing streaming. I hope you will join us again next time. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun. But if you want to talk to us directly, join us in Discord. Daniel, me, and Kristen, our social media coordinator. Daniel is my boss. He's also who started all of this stuff. He's the reason we're here. We're in Discord talking to people. There are people active right now because my ear keeps beeping about them. That's why the reason I put my headphones in, just in case. I think that's everything. I'm now waiting to see if that's everything. Good night. Daniel is my friend. He is honestly one of my best friends. Let me reiterate that first, because he makes good chat. Daniel is someone I consider. He is my boss, first off, but he is also someone I consider a very good friend that has helped me through so much stuff the last 2.5 years that I've known him. So, you know. All right, now, good night. I wanted to get that out before I left. All right, good night. Love you all. Happy gaming.